Hi everyone, my name is Keely and I'm the owner and creator here at Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for another behind the scenes look. Now my next soap design has been sent to me by one of my patrons, which I'll explain a little bit more of that in the next video. But she wanted me to recreate her unicorn inspired soap, and I could see from the picture that she sent me that the horn and the ears that were on her soap had been made using a soap mould. Now I couldn't find a mould that I really liked, so I decided to see if I could actually make them using soap dough, and to my absolute delight I discovered they are super easy and super quick to make, and I'm going to take you along today and show you how I did them. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, I'll make some little ears for our unicorns. I have some white soap dough and I also have just a little bit of pink. What I'm going to do is put it in between my film here for both of these, and I'm going to roll them out flat. I want the white to roll out to probably about 2 mil in thickness, and I'm going to do the pink a little bit thinner at about 1 mil. I put it between the film just to make sure that this doesn't stick to my workbench and I get a nice smooth surface when I'm rolling it out. So now we have our two colours here nicely rolled out. What I'm going to use are some little cookie cutters, and I have two heart-shaped ones. They were actually out of the same set, so they are exactly the same shape here. I'm going to use the bigger one to do the outer edge of my ears, and then I'm going to use the little one to do the pink insides. What I'm going to do is I leave my soap dough between the layer of film here just to prevent the soap dough from sticking to my cutter, and then I just simply start pushing through. Now I have already done 12 of these off camera, so I need to do another 5 pairs, so we need 10 in total. So as I'm going around and pushing this in, I'm making sure I'm leaving a fair amount of gap between each of them, so because if I push them too close it actually ends up squishing them and distorting them, making them really hard to pull apart. If you can't get enough out of what you've rolled, you just squish it back up and you roll it out and you can cut some more. So I've got 1, 2, that makes 3, and that will be 4, and that will make 5 that I need to do here. So I'm just going to pull my film back off of here, and then I am going to grab a piece of paper. Just got a piece of greaseproof paper here. I just like to work on that to stop them from sticking to my bench. And all I'm going to do is peel each of these out of my soap dough. Okay, what I've got left over on here, I'm just going to peel off because I don't need that anymore. I'm going to roll it up into a ball, and we're going to use the rest of this to make some horns in just a moment. But first of all, we'll finish these ears off. Right, so we'll grab our pink here, and using that smaller heart shape, again I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and I'm just going to cut myself 10 little pink hearts, making sure as I push down I'm far enough away from my last ones that they don't actually distort the shape. It makes it nice and easy to get them out. There is 4, and we are down to 5, and again I'm going to peel that back up. Now this time, as I'm going to peel my hearts out, let's grab, this one's going to be a little bit harder because I've got a much thinner piece of soap dough. So I've got my tiny little heart out. I'm going to grab one of these ear pieces. Alright, I have some distilled water in my jar. Just going to put a little bit on here just to help it stick, and I'm going to push that other heart so it lines up in the bottom like that, and I'm going to do that with all of these pieces. I've got all my little hearts in there. I'm just going to take my pink, just roll it back up into a ball and wrap it up so that it is ready for my next project. Just making sure that it's wrapped up nice and tight just to stop any air getting to it so it stays nice and soft. And then we're going to come back to these ears, and what we're going to do is we'll grab one of them and got a bit of soap stuck. Just going to make sure that that is pushed down nicely. Now you can leave the little tip of the ear poking up, or you can flatten it out a little bit. Can make them all different as well, just to give each soap its own personality. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very gently bring the bottom of my hearts together, and I'm kind of just squishing them down, making sure they stick, and that is going to form our little ears. So you can also maneuver them around and make them all different sort of shapes. You could have them pointed, you could have them flopped over, you can do all sorts, and it's best to do it now while the soap is actually still very soft and pliable. So I'm gonna do some squished ears on that one, and there's another one. So it's nice and quick and simple to do your little unicorn ears this way. Is a really quick and easy way of getting your little unicorn ears together. You can also use that to do things like bunny rabbit ears, cats, dogs, anything that you wanted. I've also just been inspired for like a lily style of soap as well. I think I might have a go at doing that at some point in the future, but it is a really quick, easy way of getting those little ears to come together. What I'm going to go and do now is go and get ready to show you how to make the horns to go on this soap. Okay, so to do the horns, I have some more of that white soap dough, and what I'm going to do is break up little 1.5 gram pieces, and again I need to do myself 5 of these, so I actually need to do myself a total of 10 of these little pieces of white soap dough. Alright, so now we've got all those pieces. I'm going to use a piece of greaseproof paper to do this on so that it doesn't stick to my bench. I'm going to take one of these pieces here, and what I'm going to do is start rolling it out into a bit of a conical or a cone shape. I'm putting more pressure on my index finger as I start rolling, and then as the soap dough stretches out under the other fingers, I'm just applying a little bit more pressure there so we get a narrow tip and then a wider bottom. And I'm also rolling it so it comes to about 3 finger widths in length, and as you can see from there we have a wide bottom and then a narrow tip, and that's exactly what I want. So let's get this next one done. So again, as I'm rolling, I start with that index finger, and because I'm putting more pressure on this side, it squishes out across those other fingers, and as it gets to those fingers I just put a little bit more pressure so it keeps rolling out into the length, but the bit underneath my index finger gets nice and thin. Make sure it's nice and even, make sure they are about the same length. So I'm going to get all of these ones rolled out, and then I'll show you how we'll put them together. Rolled out, and we can start assembling them. So I'm going to take these first 2 here. I have my water here, and all I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to wet one of these pieces, and then I'm going to grab these 2 pieces together, line them up so that the tops of them are together, and then I'm just going to start to very, very slowly, see if we can do it so you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to start twisting these together, going very, very gently. At first it'll seem like they're not going to go, but if you just keep going very gently, they do actually twist them together. And I put that water on just to help them stick, so we don't have to squish it around too much once we've got our sort of general shape. And there we go. That is a very wonky horn. Let's just get it a little bit straighter there. There we go, and there is our little unicorn horn. Now just to really kind of finish that off and give it that sort of unicorn sparkle, I have some of the Extravagance Gold Mica. I am just going to give that a little bit of a dusting, like so. And that will be our little unicorn horn to go in our soap. Let's pop you just there, so we'll grab these next two. Doesn't matter if they go in that little bit of gold dust. Gonna wet one of these over again, and then I'm gonna start them again. So getting those two thinner ends together, and then just very, very slowly twisting them together, and that will give us the horn shape. You don't want to twist and pull it too hard. You just want to very, very gently twist it so you don't break or crack the soap. If you do, you can just smooth it over with your finger like I have there. You can just smooth that all back over, and that bit's actually going into the soap too, so it doesn't matter too much. Alright, I'm happy with that. Let's get that top bit just done. And there we have another one of our horns. So we'll give that one a bit of a spritz. I'm spritzing them while they're still actually quite damp and sticky as fresh soap dough, so that that gold will actually stick to it. And there is another one of our little horns. So here are all my little unicorn ears and horns complete. So let me grab a little set here for you. I am so looking forward to getting these onto the weekend soap just to see how cute they really look. I hope you have enjoyed watching how I made them. If you did, why not leave me a thumbs up and any comments down below. If you've got any questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And until the next video, have a great one and stay safe. I'll see you then. Bye.